Hello everybody, welcome to the first Christmas card I'm making with the stash I just got from the 2023 holiday mini catalogue. I just did an unveiling video which I'll link in the bottom of here if you want to go back and see all of the other stamp sets and doodads and papers that I was able to get. And what I promised to do was use those sets to make some cards until it goes live on September 6th. And then you will be able to buy your own and you'll be able to follow along and it will be totally exciting. So this is the card I'm going to show you how to make. It uses the Christmas Classic stamp set and dies. It's Christmas Classic stamp set, and the dies is actually two. Normally I attach mine to some magnet backing, but I haven't got any yet. So this is a really comprehensive die, but these are the shapes that you would cut out and then use one of the greetings to go on. So that's exactly what I did. And then it also uses the Joy of Christmas designer series paper. So without further ado, let me pop that off to one side and show you how I made it. So it uses a piece of real red cardstock and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then folded in half, and that's a standard card size which fits into a regular sized envelope. Then it needs two pieces of basic white cut to 5 1/4 by 4. One is for the outside, one is for the inside. Because it's a darker card, you kind of need a lighter base that you can put your inside greeting and write "Happy Christmas, love from me" into it. So we'll pop the inside in first. Just have to trust that when I come to put the inside greeting in, I do it properly. So that's the front white piece. What we also need is the piece of designer series paper, and this is also 5 1/4 by 1.5. So I'm actually just going to stick that quickly on. All the directions and dimensions, of course, as always, will be in the description box below. When I managed to get my teeth and my tongue in unison and can talk properly. So we'll just pop that onto the front. Just check there's no overhang, because sometimes it just depends where in the cutting plate, in the trough, it actually falls. But I seem to have done a rather splendid job then. And then what we need to do is cut out two pieces with the die. So again, it's using the Christmas Classics die, and it's this one. And I cut one from basic white and one from shaded spruce. So I just went ahead and did that already. The dimensions for this are 4 by 3 3/4 if you're only going to cut the one. But because they can sort of stack like this, I did go ahead and tried it out, and you can get 4 if you're very careful and you go really close without, you know, losing a berry or the top of the holly. You can actually fit 4 of those dies into a half a sheet of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11. You just have to place them very carefully. So if you're making multiples, you don't have to have a lot of wastage. You can actually multi-cut them, and like I say, get 4 out of a half sheet of cardstock, so therefore 8 out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So I had, like I said, already gone ahead and done mine. Let me just pop the dies off to one side. So then I'm going to take the greeting out of the stamp set, and it's the Seasons greetings because it's nice and long, and because it's part of the same bundle, we know that it's going to fit. So I'll just stamp that up nicely with real red ink. So Stampin' Up! Fabulousness, as you know, always coordinates. So we'll pop that, whoops, onto the front, nice and red. Just give it a quick little wash, and I usually just wash them either with a paper towel with some water on an old plate, or I use my chamois, which is getting uglier as time goes by. So for those of you who are new to Stampin' Up, perhaps, the stamps come in sort of like an old DVD box, I guess you would call it, and they're clings, so you can peel them off and they go into your box. and then in reverse, of course, you peel them out of the box, put them on the acrylic block and use them, wash it and put it away. The nice thing about the acrylic stamps, of course, the polymer stamps, is that you can see through them if you're doing a double placement. So that's the greeting stamped. This is the basic white with the designer series paper on it. What we need to do now is pop one on top of the other, and because they're both the same size, I'm just going to slightly offset it, and I'm going to bring in my silicone mat to do that, just because I don't want the sticky to go through onto my work surface and then subsequent things that I do stick to them. So I'm just going to pop little bits of adhesive here and there. It doesn't need to be a lot, just little dots of it, and then we can put the green down and just offset it perhaps by 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/4 inch, because that might just work out to be too much. So there we have it. You can see the, well, perhaps if you had a lighter background, you can see how the green pops out from behind the white, but the white is bright enough that the greeting will go on it by itself. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these little doodads, and they come, you get a whole box of them. They're called Loose Holly Gems and Sequins, and the box is literally jam packed. I don't know how many pieces there are, hundreds I quite imagine. So then what I'm going to do is I use the glue dots that I get personally from Paper Pumpkin. You can buy them in the catalogue if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. We always get extras and spares of those. So I'm going to bring in some that I'd already attached the glue dot to, just for speed of doing the video, and pop the back off and put it, 2 of them. I don't even think it needs the stylus to do this actually, and just pop them into the corners. You might notice that the little scrap of paper that I got to put them onto is actually one of the new punches. It's a little punch tag, which I'm not actually going to use, but seeing as I used it to put this on, it's a new punch, and then when you put it in and press it down, it creates lovely little tags like that. So whether you use them as tags or whether you use them as handy dandy little things to put your doodads on when you're doing a video, it's a very nice design. So I'm just going to pop a couple of glue dots extra onto the corners, pop the backing off, and then slip these little sequins into place. When I did the first card, I actually put the glue dots onto the back of the sequins, and then it was a nightmare to get them off. In this instance, it was actually easier to put the glue dot onto the card and then just attach the little sequin to it. So now we just need to put some adhesive on the back of this layer. Make sure we've got a nice even border around. It's cut down by 1/4 inch, so you get 1/8 inch border all around. And then last but not least, we'll put some dimensionals, oops, onto the back of the greeting. Just put one at each end to support it, and then one where the holly starts to appear. Take off the backing paper really quickly, and then we can just attach it, making sure it's sort of even between the 2 ends and the top and the bottom. And there you have it. I think that's really effective. It's got the white inside, like I say, so it's light enough to stamp another greeting and write something inside. And that's my first card of the collection I'm going to be doing from the supplies that I got from the 2023 holiday mini catalogue. If you like what you've seen, would you please consider subscribing? Ring the bell if you want notifications when I've posted another video. I like likes, it helps keep my algorithm busy so I can bring more videos like this to you. If you don't have a demonstrator, you can order things from my website, which is listed here. My email is in the bottom. Feel free to reach out and contact me. You can always leave a message in the comments box. Any way you want to get in touch with me, ask a question, pass a comment, sign up to, well, you don't really sign up, you just order from me, which you can do either from my website or you can email me with an order and I'll be absolutely more than happy to help you. First card, there's lots more to come, so stay tuned. And last but not least, thanks so much for watching.